Plenty of Ducati parking here. Stick it in there, I guess. Okay, so we made it to the Ducati Museum. I won't go through every exhibit here because you can watch videos on YouTube about that. But there's one or two things that are of interest. First off, here, of course, Ducati didn't start as a motorcycle manufacturer. Made everything from electronics components. Went on to things like telephones and shavers, would you believe? Projectors and typewriters and radios, all that sort of thing. It was only actually after the war, after the Allies had bombed the place flat, that they started to make motorcycles. So let's now walk into the museum proper. Check out some of them. Well, fascinating museum, well worth a visit if you're in the area. You can kill an hour or two here easy, and some absolutely amazing exhibits and sights to be seen. Behind me. Well, that was fascinating. Little trip to the Ducati factory. Such a shame that I wasn't allowed to film actually in the factory. It's understandable, of course, that you can't, but really fascinating seeing all the various bikes being constructed there. Really enjoyed that. In fact, I enjoyed that more than the museum. Great stuff. Right, so we're leaving Borgo Panigale now after an excellent trip to Ducati. Really interesting. The bikes there, they make all the bikes there, and they take anywhere between 7 and 13 hours to produce, depending on if they have any quality issues. But basically, they don't actually manufacture anything there except for the camshafts and the crankshafts, which is kind of where the IP is, I guess, for the Desmo engines. Everything else is bought in from suppliers, you know, the Bosches and the Magneti Marellis, Öhlins, etc., and all assembled there. So it's basically an assembly plant and then quality control. It's 70% assembly, 30% quality control, and obviously there's admin staff there as well. I think she said 1,300 staff work there. And the thing that struck me was just the fact that there seemed to be so few people actually making them, when you consider, you know, a company like Ducati with a worldwide reputation. Yet it seemed a relatively small operation. But then I guess the only other sort of comparable factories I've been in are car factories or big warehouses, and they're on a different scale. It's quite it's not a cottage industry, but you know, they're all handmade, and it's not particularly automated. 90% handmade bikes. Really interesting. If you do ever get the chance to come up here, then do get yourself on one of those factory tours and the museum tour. The museum's fascinating too, but for me the factory was particularly interesting. Anyway, good news is we're now heading back to Florence, and we're not going to be heading back via that autostrada. I've got multistradas on the brain. We're not going via the autostrada this way, but we're going via the twisties, a couple of passes that we're going to do, so hopefully some great riding to finish the day. And it's been an absolutely fascinating day, thoroughly enjoyed it. Got mirrors full of bikes again. What an excellent way to spend your Tuesday. So we're just making our way out of Bologna now, quite busy through there, and Adrian's just waiting to gather up the various bikers, which, as I say, we've got about 8 or 9 today. Tomorrow we've only got the 4 of us, so it'll be a bit easier to keep tabs of us. Cracking time there. Between, what you may be wondering is, when is he stopping for lunch? Well, between going to the museum and the factory, we in fact had lunch. But what they do at the factory is take away your phones and put stickers over the cameras and things, so they don't really take any pictures, obviously, in the Ducati factory. So whilst I was at lunch, I didn't actually have any cameras or anything with me, so I couldn't film anything. But take it from me, we had a cracking lunch. Nice bit of pasta, which we didn't call spag bol as we were in Bologna. They had a much more fancy sounding name for it, but you would have recognised it. And a risotto and some lemon chicken. Very nice indeed. The old diet's going well. Okay, so we just turned off the main road, and in fact they are crossing the I guess that's the A1 that we came down on to hit the twisties. This is already looking fabulous. A little bit of dust on the roads actually, so got to get a bit of a feel for grip. But I have to say, I've been really impressed with this little Ducati Scrambler. Well, I say little, it's not little of course, it's an 1100cc bike. Oh, what a beautiful Castiglione. The Palazzo Rossi. Red Palace, I assume that means. Anyway, yeah, the Ducati Scrambler 1100 has been great. I definitely chose the right bike for this trip, because it's just super light to throw around these lightweight little lanes. For chucking around corners, it's brill. Oh, really missed that one. ABS works all right. Wow. Now, this is rather splendid, if a bit scary. Nice. Check that out. What a hoot. Well, I don't know what happens if you meet something coming the other way. Note to self, don't stick too close to Adrian's wheel. Although I did prove the brakes work very well there. So back to the bike. Even with the standard exhaust that this bike has, it's got a great sound, great note to it. It pops and farts on the overrun. It's been an absolute joy to ride. Great view down the valley to my right. Unfortunately, I missed it. I didn't have the camera running. You might get a view of it in a second. But a typically Italian view, where you think, you know, how different can a European valley look? But it is nothing like the valleys I'm used to looking down in England or when I've ridden in Spain. Can't quite put my finger on what's different about it. Maybe it's the poplar trees that are so popular in this part of the world. So that's open all the ventage. It's about 22 degrees now. Just perfect riding weather. Starting to climb now into the twisties. It's all clear. Not clear. Wow. It's a definite look at that moment there. Fabulous. Oh, it's so good to get out of Blighty and ride. I love riding in Britain. There's some great places in Wales and Scotland, but not too many where I live. Okay, note to self, this is the SP58 we're just joining. SP58 to Pianora, Pianora. Wow. Now there's a verdant valley if ever I've seen one. Yep, these Italian riders are certainly nutters. Best kept clear of. This road and this valley reminds me very much. Oh, just hit that bird. Bit of feathers as a result, and the pheasant didn't come off too well. Oh dear. I hate seeing things like that. Grim. Anyway, where was I? Yes, the valley reminds me of those around the north of Los Angeles. The ride I did round there on a Ducati Diavolo a couple of years back, before the recent fires hit, of course. Very much like this. A bit of hairpinage, wasn't expecting that. This is where a sat-nav comes in handy. See what's coming up. Running. Right. He's off to kill some more pheasants. Now, having just said that I wanted to stay a good distance from Adrian, so I didn't have to test my ABS again, I'm now having to go a bit close, because the GoPros just have such a wide angle lens, as you know. For me to appear on the shots he's taking at the moment, I need to be quite close to him, so I'm literally about 8 feet from his back tyre, although it probably looks on the camera like I'm 30 feet from him. But what a stunning setting, eh? Tell you what, I'm glad I brought my visor cap with me, because just shows, even on these warm days, I've had a few bugs on the old visor. Just the odd little swipe across and wipe back makes all the difference. It's getting a bit indispensable, this now. I was thinking it was a bit of a gimmick, but actually I'm finding it really useful. It doesn't get in the way at all. You just got to remember to top it up with a little bit of water or the cleaning fluid before you go out on a ride, and then you never have to suffer a dirty visor again, either in the scuddy British winter or on a summer's ride or a hot ride like today, where there's flies and stuff that get on the visor. Recommend those to the house. Just while I'm talking about kit as well, because I often get asked about what kit I'm wearing or whatever, the jacket and trousers I'm wearing is still my Oxford Mondial kit that I got last year. Oh, our friends have gone the wrong way. Yeah, the Oxford kit that I bought last year for the Arctic Circle Tour, I've now worn it throughout a really hot summer, as in last year, and a cold winter, wind, rain and shine, and I've been super impressed with it, I have to say. If you're in the market for a jacket and trousers, a laminated one, so you don't have to get your waterproofs out, you don't want to spend lots of money, then I really recommend these as well. More hairpinage for the lads. Loving this engine note. Still in the climb, which is only going to bode well for views later, I think. And now we're on the SP65. Can't see any of our other rest of the group behind us. Zula, Z-U-L-A, just for the purposes of looking up on the map. Aha, here's that view I was hoping for, from a bit of a height. Road surfaces here are a bit tricky. They do vary, some of them are fine, but this particular bit of road, the road surface, is something you'd find in England. Pretty shocking. Still, all adds to the fun, I guess. Got to lap this dry riding up, because the forecast for tomorrow isn't quite so good. Looks like there could be some rain tomorrow. I hope I'm wrong. I haven't checked the forecast since this morning, but it was saying that there's going to be some rain, so we might amend our route to try and follow the sun if we can, which would suit me. Okay, so my fuel light has come on now. Still says I've got 2 blocks out of about 6, so a third of a tank, so I shouldn't panic. But what is it about the fact that they set those lights up so that as soon as they come on you start to get a fuel range anxiety? We are going to stop for a fuel stop before we get back, but I'm not entirely sure when. But So I'll silently keep panicking until that point. Some serious bends here. Got to be back on the Canary Islands. I can see why motorcycles are so popular in Italy. These are the sort of roads that if you drive them in the car, you feel pretty ill by the time you get out. This little bike is fabulous for just getting around the bends and then firing it out. Obviously we've got another biker behind me who's likely to overtake at any moment. A local by the looks of him. Now's your chance to go, mate, if you want to. Maybe not. I feel sorry for Adrian, our leader up front there, trying to keep an eye on 8 bikes. Must be a nightmare. He doesn't usually travel with this many. Normally, apparently he rides probably with about 4. I think circumstances were such this time he had to increase it for one reason or other, but doing a sterling job, I have to say. I'm very impressed with the way that he looks at after the train, as it were. You know, if there's a car comes down the other way and we're on the twisties, he'll give them a hand signal to slow down, or when we're pulling out, he'll slow cars down. It's good stuff. Cracking view of the mountains on my right, but still a bit twisty to be standing up and showing you. Marvellous. Oh, I've missed these roads. Loiano. Bit of a viewpoint, popular with bikers. Oh yes. Check that out. Oh, what a cracking little town here, built down the side of this hill. Loiano, L-O-I-A-N-O, 714 metres above sea level. So did I say 714 metres? That's quite a way, isn't it? So that's about, what, 2,000 feet above sea level here still. Not too high for a co-op though. The local mayor must be very keen on peach coloured buildings. Maybe they've mandated that here. Actually, peach isn't a colour, is it? It's a fruit. What am I talking about? Terracotta. The light's got quite an interesting quality actually here at the moment. It feels quite late, but it's not. It's only 20 past 4 thereabouts. It feels like a sort of a late summer's evening to me. I think that's probably the temperature that's helping that as well. It's still quite warm, even though everybody seems to be, the locals, wearing coats and stuff. If this was England, we'd all be in t-shirts. Look at that! Bit of a Tuscan view. A little bit hazy still, but beautiful nonetheless. So this SP65, by the way, which is the road we're running at the moment, is also known as the Futa Pass, spelt F-U-T-A, Foxtrot Uniform Tango Alpha. And apparently it's one of the more popular passes in the area for motorcyclists, worth checking out. Certainly been a twisty little number. There's some lovely views and some of these beautiful little Italian towns and villages. Another one to strike off the list. That was Lassa. Feels like we're in the descent now. I think as we head back to Florence, we do rejoin for a short period of time. Well, in fact, we're leaving Bologna and into the Florence area now. Yeah, I think there's a short period where we just join back on the main motorway again as we approach Florence. But that's a little way yet, I think. Wow, amazing church tucked up there. Oh, look at this great road. Loving it. happening here then? Oh, photo stop. Woo!
Right?
Fabulous, isn't it? Right. Yeah, lovely road.
This is the Chalet Raticosa. This is
Yeah.
the point.
Yep.
People from Bologna and the people from Florence meet in the weekend.
Okay.
So both sides are very nice for riding.
Uh-huh.
This is like a huge place. I will send you pictures so you can see. It's
Perfect.
Bikes,
Right.
Ducatis, and whatever.
Oh, this is like a biker meet-up spot, is it?
Yeah. So this is like a mythical
Oh, great.
bar in Tuscany.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, I have to put my sticker on that wall, I think.
You must.
Yeah, in fact, I'll do that now, I remember. Quick snap, the famous biker bar. Try not to get killed while I'm doing it. I got you on video, almost falling off.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Now?
Yeah.
You bugger! Yeah, you come. I was going round and then, oh, he's coming in front of me. I'm going to grab the front. Oh no, not the front brake.
Right, this has got to be done on that wall.
Oh yeah.
What do we think then? Bingo! There forever. One more for luck. On the top there, I think. That'll do.
You see, I think they wanted to go a little bit faster than we were going. So,
yeah, they're saying they want to be back by
What are we back by today?
yes. I think they want to go about 120.
yeah, I think that's. Yeah, I think they're going to go quicker and go.
Ciao.
Ciao.
I'm tired of waiting for that guy now.
No. What do you think? It was the English guy as well who banged on the brake somewhere around.
Right, coffee time.
Yeah.
I've left me mark in 2 places on here. Can you spot them? 2 stickers on here. Can you spot them?
Whoa. I don't think so.
One up there.
Oh, here you are. Here you are.
And one up there. Look.
Wow.
Oh, you.
There is plenty
There
of
we go.
space.
Yeah.
Invasion of
I want to make sure they don't get removed. You see.
an invasion of the TMFs. Of course, when it goes viral, you can deny all knowledge of it.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah. Someone put the wazziest things.
Species, but
Yeah. Which I was so moved.
That's outrageous. Cheers. Oh, look at that rocket fuel in the cup.
Yeah, that's it.
Check that out. Oh. Suddenly all is well.
Yeah.
Blimey. Nowhere but Italy do you get coffee like that, do you?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
This is good.
Right, that was a cracking little stop. Beautiful evening. Right, we're off. Florence, here we come, hopefully, via a petrol station. Well, that was a cracking little stop. Bit of rocket fuel coffee. Just to charge us up for the last push back tonight. It's about an hour or so's ride from here. And then another cracking day's riding tomorrow, hopefully. Just fingers crossed for the weather tomorrow, as I said. None of us have seen an up-to-date forecast, but there was some rain in the forecast, the last one I saw, so we'll see how that pans out. Pretty impressed with the comfort on the Scrambler on today's ride. We've been on the bike for a fair few hours. Oh, another amazing church over there. My backside's certainly not suffering. Shoulders are starting to feel it, but that's fairly normal after a day on the bike. With the addition of the little soft panniers that I've got on here, makes it a great machine for touring on, especially on these twisty roads. It's great for chucking around. There's a view. This is starting to feel a bit more like Tuscany now. Beautiful scenery across the countryside. But today it's all been about Ducati really, and going to do the factory and the museum. It's such a shame that I couldn't show you in there. Tomorrow's going to be a completely different sort of day, touring in the countryside. But yeah, exactly, Tuscany in all its glory. Isn't that beautiful? Only one thing could make it more beautiful, and that's a Texaco sign or a mobile sign. Oh, what a garage. Where's a fuel station? So it feels like we're getting back into civilization again now, just crossing a reservoir by the looks of it here. And back onto one of the more main roads. Back into the traffic again, which is a bit of a shame. It's been a cracking day's riding, really has. Weather's been perfect, lovely temperatures. Not too hot, and certainly not too cold. It's been brilliant. I really do need fuel now. I've got a flashing last bar, so I'm really hoping there's a fuel station in this settlement up here, otherwise I'm pushing the bike. Or Adrian's towing me. Very happy to say we spotted a fuel station. Feels like I'm going to make it. Hurrah! Right, let's go and see how this operates. Sometimes these can be a bit confusing in foreign countries. Hopefully I'll be able to suss it out. Marvellous. The amber nectar. Not a moment too soon, it was flashing on the... Let's see if we can work this out. Is it going to spot that we are... Cart is inserter. Pin. Premier Attendro, tentative number 1. Operation Escusta. Estra Carter. Scoop Fi. No Scoop Fi. Pump 5. Validazione. Pump 5. Maximum €103. Don't think I'm going to take that. Perfect. All looks like the same stuff. Drink it in, my beauty. Drink it in. Not getting any more in there. That'll do. Oh wow, a fully fueled tank. Excellent. Let's get the bike out of the way. Wow, it's turning into an absolutely cracking evening. Oh, I feel so much better with plenty of fuel on board. Right then, let's get this show on the road. So the plan is quick back to Florence, take the bikes back to the shop where we're going to leave them overnight, and then tomorrow it's Volterra, San Gimignano, Tuscany proper as I call it, and a bit of touristing hopefully. So theoretically, us all four having fueled up now, you'd think we'd be in a similar state of fueling tomorrow, so hopefully we won't have to, you know, stop separately. When you're doing these group rides, it just makes sense for everybody to top up at the same time, and then you're just at the peril of the person that's got the least range, which in this case, given we've got the S1000 XR that Adrian's on, 2 multi-stradas behind me, and I'm on the Scrambler, I suspect the Scrambler is potentially the one with the least range. Sorry chaps. Would you believe it? There's a little bit of rain in the air. This is outrageous. Adrian specifically told me he was going to organise it so there wasn't any rain today. Dears, let me down on that one. Oh well, never mind. Let's hope it doesn't amount to much. Doesn't look like it will. 1 or 2 spots just appearing on the old visor. Let's give those a quick... Nicely done with the old visor cap. It's been a cracking ride back. I don't think we've got very far to go now, but so if it did rain now in any serious way, it wouldn't be disastrous. We had a cracking day. Thoroughly enjoyed every moment of it. Thank you, Adrian, for your safe leading. Absolutely cracking view of Florence there. I don't know if you can just see it through that gap. Just nestling in the hills. Gorgeous. Might get a better view down here. What a beautiful part of the world. I imagine as usual the GoPro won't quite do it justice, but just there off to my left, amazing panoramic view of Florence just below us. We probably won't now get a clear view of it again, and the light is starting to fade. What a beautiful place to ride, eh? Look at that. As usual, I had the camera turned off as we came past some amazing views, some great architecture and incredible flowers actually. I don't know what they were this time of year. They were purple flowers. I'm thinking bougainvillea, but I don't really know what I'm talking about when it comes to flowers. Right, how does this work then? We're back in Florence now, or the edges of, and of course things start to get busy. You need eyes up your jacksie here. Just looking for our compadre Don, the American. Yeah, he's there, I think. Quite beautiful. How lucky we are to have Europe on our doorstep. Oh, listen to this exhaust pipe popping. Brill. I must say the Scrambler 1100 I rode last week back in Blighty with the Terminioni's did sound better. Oh, let's get it in gear, it'd help. This standard pipe doesn't sound bad at all. I'm so glad Adrian knows where he's going. This is where doing these guided tours is really useful, because there's no stress about being lost in a city you don't know. Although it looks like we are just about to wait for the others because we've lost them temporarily. Successfully swept up. What an amazing street. I'm sure to the people of Florence this is nothing, but to me it's impressive. Well, it is certainly an experience riding through a busy Italian town on a motorcycle. It's great, I have to say. Loving it. Over the river, down to my left the Ponte Vecchio, famous bridge with the buildings on, in the middle of Florence. As we wend our way back to the hire shop, which is where we're leaving the bikes for the night again, I think. Where exactly are we going? Okay, we're going this way, lads.